Hi, welcome to Change Already. I'm Jillian Moss-Backman, and I'm with my friend, Jan Bilgen. Hi, Jan.
Good morning, Jillian.
Well, I think we should start from the beginning.
Okay,
Um, a lot of people don't know who you are, so I think we should start there before we talk about our big unveiling for WomenScape Magazine. How do you feel about that?
uh, do I know who I am? But yeah, kind of a work in progress, but happy to share what I know, as always.
What do you mean you don't know who you are? Excuse me? We've been friends for a long time. I think
Yes.
I know a lot about you. But one of the things that people don't understand is that you and I have been working together in partnership for a while now, except
Mhm.
you've chose to be the silent partner behind the
Yes.
one that keeps getting pushed in the front.
Yes, absolutely. There are good reasons for that.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Dan. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, why don't you
No.
tell a little bit about your background and how we started working together, and then I'll jump in as we go along.
Sure. Well, Jillian and I both used to live in the same town, so that's how we came to meet each other in supporting the sense of community in the town in which we live, whether that's in the school district or just door to door. So that's kind of where we met, right?
Right?
A little bit about me. My background is I work in higher education. I really see myself as an educator, but I also have I believe, developed a very strong sense of empathy, and that's really
Def-
helped me show up in the world
yeah.
and make things better for other people. And so I think that's kind of where I come from. I also am a voracious reader, and so I love to.
Know that?
I
Wait,
know.
wait, 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 wait. I guess I did know that. It's just that we talk so much when we're together, we don't have time to do that kind of slight formalities between each other. So, okay,
Yep,
so
very true.
you read a lot.
I do. I read a lot of fiction to escape my brain and worry, like so many of us do.
Mhm.
But I also read a lot about leadership theory, about learning theory, about human development and understanding the world kind of stuff. And so I like to think that I'm a cherry picker. I pick a little bit of each out of everything that I like, and I've been spending my adult life blending that into kind of a life philosophy. And I think that's how you and I connected, really, because
Yeah.
you were one of those people that I started cherry picking ideas from through our friendship, but also through your professional work. Because I
Well, it's
just think
very
there's
good that
something,
I'm doing this interview with you because I didn't know all that.
oh, we'll see. But I mean,
Good.
it's so much that and so much more. So, I mean, I think for me, I'm a lifelong learner would be another way that I know that sounds kind of, it's a euphemism, but
Yeah.
I like people to be able to think and take something, if the smallest thing, away from the interaction. I think you're the same way.
Yeah, I am.
You come at it really from one angle and I come at it from another angle. So when we work together, I think it's this beautiful synergy of intellect, intuition, and caring for humankind. So that's
Right?
why, plus you're fun to shop with, but other than that, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, I guess everybody knows I'm a shopaholic. I guess I don't read, I shop. Well, okay. Yes, I agree with everything you said. I think I would add that you're right, we have an empathy that we share, but we also enjoy collaborating and figuring out how each one of us can make our work better. I think
Yeah.
that's the part that makes and brings so much joy to our relationship is that we're not afraid of sharing ideas and back and forth bantering to get to the ideas of the core value of what we both are teaching in the world, which is a totally different place. Like I came from a spa background, holistic radio, television kind of stuff, and you came from more of a academic background,
Mhm.
which you're right. I think it blends unbelievably nice one upon each other, which
Right.
brings me to the conversation that we're having today, which is you decided that you would be a collaborator with the co-contributor to WomenScape Magazine, which I
Yeah.
was thrilled, by the way, because it's the first time that you have stepped out in front in the camera with me, which I'm thrilled about. You look beautiful.
Well, thank you. So do you. I think the other part too is you and I have done some in-person work with people with corporate and with higher education institutions in Wisconsin. I mean,
Good.
that's what I'm used to. I'm used to being in the world with people in a large group presenting and getting them
Yeah.
to think, right?
Yeah.
And I think you've
Right.
done that work too, but obviously now we're not doing that work in that manner. So
Yeah.
this is a great opportunity to continue to do the labor of love without having to be in a room with 450 people like we're used to, right?
Right.
So
Correct.
yeah,
Correct. And what's
absolutely.
interesting, I'll overlay on top of that, Jan, great comment, meaning, because of COVID and everything else, I think the written word has become even more important than what it was before. Because, like you said, we were able to communicate and do our message through large groups. And now we're having to put our ideas in small blogs
Mm-hmm.
and small sound bites that people are willing to listen to and take away from something. But however, I will say it is a little more difficult to get that message and idea that you and I have to, as teachers of the world, to get down in, let's say, 600 words or less. Not
Absolutely.
our strong suit, but we're getting better. We're getting
Yeah.
better.
Absolutely. It's a interesting mix, right? Is that
It is.
um, I am out on social media. I use it for work a great deal. Um, but it's sometimes it's pretty fluffy. It's that it's either incredibly um, damaging or it's incredibly helpful, and there's not a whole lot of in between. So I think any opportunity that you and I can patiently work to kind of translate our words,
Yeah,
even this conversation in itself is well over 2,000 words. So to help people understand that we're a work in progress just like they are, right? We all have to adapt, and so I think moving into that written word has been a great gift. I'm glad that WomanScape is interested in that, and clearly it's a magazine that's all about people expressing all sorts of opinions. So I think it's a great place for us to expand to, and to share some hands-on. I mean, that's the other part of you and I don't want to just talk and pontificate, right?
right.
We want to give people
Absolutely.
some things to do, to see where it takes them kind of on their own path, because I don't want to be the person that tells someone where to go. And well,
No,
that's not 100%
no.
true in case they did, unless they deserve to be told where to go. But I mean,
Oh, right.
right. Um, but we all kind of have to find our own way, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of help along the way. And that I think characterizes the majority of the time that I've spent in higher education is students in higher education can find their way. They're adults. But
Yeah.
to have folks to point out something they may have missed or a piece of the puzzle that's missing, I think is really powerful. It can be really helpful.
Yeah, and I think that's why people enjoy listening to our conversations. I'm not saying that we know everything,
Right.
absolutely not, because we're, like you said, a constant work in progress. And what we spoke about, I don't know, 10 years ago, which we've been together a long time, is a lot different than we are now, which
Yeah.
brings me into the column. And I think it's important that we touch very quickly on our perspective of the voice we wrote it to and how
Yeah.
we developed that. Meaning, we, both of us, and I guess I'm speaking for you, Jan, too, is
It's
that
okay.
we take the perspective that we're, as you say, not telling people what to do, but we're encouraging them between intuition, intelligence, and emotions in the article that
Right.
we first wrote on how to find your own answers within yourself. I think
Yeah.
that's even becoming more important, with all the overload. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I think the other part that we wanted to make sure people understood about it is that, especially as women, that whole emotional part it's usually either downplayed or used as a
Yeah,
negative. And
right.
really when you look at emotion, it's the gasoline in our engine. It's the power behind
Yeah,
harnessing our intellect and our intuition. So for me, those three are really solid pillars, as we mentioned in the in the article. But it's also just part of a really powerful foundation that if we can harness or learn to better harness all three of those, look out world, right? But more
Yeah,
importantly, it's not so much the world I'm worried about, it's one person at a time and their happiness and purpose. That's who I think we're writing to. We're not writing to this, I'd love the whole world to read our stuff, right? Absolutely. Um,
absolutely.
but I think the other part is that really one person at a time, right? Each person that finds value in their life or
Yeah,
finds their lane to affect a change in their life. I mean, change is the only thing that we can really count on,
yeah.
right? So fighting it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, let me back up a bit and say we're talking about WomenScape Magazine. You
Absolutely.
can find it online. You can find it at my website, jillianmossbackman.com. The name of our first article is Finding Your Lane, Change Already.
Hmm.
See how it connects?
Nice.
We actually
Blinker.
connected it.
Change the lane with a blinker though, because we don't want to cause an accident.
Exactly. So it came out this in September, and it is in a magazine titled Engines. It's an incredible magazine, and Jan and I have been asked to be regular columnists in it. And the name of the column is Find Your Lane, Change Already. So the discussion that we're having is about that article. We don't want to talk much about it other than why we did it. And it's about the three pillars of change, which we decide we name them intellect, intuition, emotion. And you want to go download that, either download or get the hard copy of the magazine, because we wrote it interactive and we have three different tasks in there that we want you to do, because the next episode, oh, what is it, Jan? The next magazine
Uh,
coming out,
yeah, yeah. The next edition. The
the
next
next
edition.
edition in November is called What If? And so we're in the middle of
Mhm.
writing that now. But we're gonna, if you don't have the first article, then the second article may not make sense to you. So you need to go download and or buy that hard copy. Did I
Yeah.
catch everything,
I
Jan?
think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there
I
anything
think
else you want to add in there?
just that, I think people need to know that one, we're a little goofy.
Yeah, we
Um,
are.
because life just needs to be light in some ways.
Right.
But I think the other part too is that we're about helping people do and not just talk,
Yeah.
right? Because do gives you an outlet, first of all. But second of all, it also is a method of change, right? And change is going to bring you happiness and focus and those things that we
Yeah.
all want and need in our lives. So, yeah, we'll give you a little homework, but it won't be painful. But it's all done by choice. I mean, we know that anything
Yeah.
meaningful needs to be done by choice. So we're encouraging you to read our stuff, absolutely, but we're also encouraging you to do something that's better for you. So yeah,
Yeah, and the whole
check
article
it out.
is written with a bunch of wonderful change makers in the world.
Yeah.
Some women, other women that are doing remarkable stuff. It's
Oh,
amazing
absolutely.
what women are doing out there. And I just feel, and I'm speaking for both of us, that we just feel so blessed that we're a part of this change making of this magazine. And
Yeah.
so it's a fun way of getting our message out there. And we will always be making it interactive, and we'll always be making it a part of change and leadership. Those are the two elements that, and when we talk about leadership, Jan, you've always told me that it's not just about leadership of community. It's leadership in your home. It's leadership in your community. It's leadership with your kids and your siblings
Yourself.
and your school and yourself. Most importantly, yourself.
Right.
So
Yep.
go to my website, jillianmossbackman.com, or you can go to WomanScape, WomanScape.com, or
Mhm.
Jillian Mossbackman, JILLIANMAASBACKMAN.com. What was I thinking? It's too late now. I've had it too long and I have to keep it. So I hope that
It's
you
good.
go over there, download the magazine, play along with us, do the assignments, and then next month we'll do another podcast and a conversation to talk about changing already. Jillian Moss Backman, Jan Bilgen, and this is Change Already. We'll see you next time.
Be well.
We will. Be well.